I am adorned in a suit today because I had an opportunity. I was invited to sit with Pamela Furr, amongst others, the redheaded stranger, at the 2024 Men of Valor breakfast this morning at Music City Center in downtown Nashville, off DeMunbrian or 6th Avenue, depending on which way you come in. And I happen to be holding the, if you're watching on Supertalk TV, I'm holding the program that was presented today by Men of Valor. If you don't know this organization, I would encourage you to get to know it. I do not say this because they asked me to. I do not say this because in any way, I am affiliated in no way with Men of Valor other than I gave them some money this morning as a donation because I believe in what they do and I believe in how they do it. Men of Valor is an organization throughout the state of Tennessee that started almost 30 years ago, and I think I have this right, that is committed to winning back our men in prison by teaching them about Jesus Christ and discipling to them. And as is stated in their program, their goal is to equip them and to re-enter society as men of integrity, becoming givers to the community rather than takers. And they do a great job. They do a great job. Are they perfect? Of course they're not perfect. But I'll tell you this. It is, we preach a lot about individual responsibility, about taking care of oneself, about not relying on government to do same for us. These people at Men of Valor put action behind word. I talk a good game for 3 hours every day. I am humbled when I listen to some of the testimony offered by the men who have gone through the Men of Valor program and have graduated on the other side. I'm humbled. And I'm reminded of a few things, and I want to open the show with some of the things I was reminded of this morning because it was that moving of a program. So Men of Valor, they go into our prison communities and they seek out men who are looking for a Christ-based format. And they minister to them, and they give them opportunities to come into their program, and the transformation then begins. They do ministry inside of the prison, then they have a transition from inside of the prison to their campus. The Men of Valor have campus, at least one, and there are probably multiples. And then their aftercare ministry as well. But we listened to a lot of testimonies this morning about individuals who have been through the program, and obviously a number of people spoke. Governor Bill Lee was there. Governor Lee, whatever you think of his politics, he's been involved with Men of Valor for many, many years, long before he got into politics, and so he continues to be involved.
Did you talk to him?
I spoke to him. Yeah, I met with him. Or I didn't meet with him. I said hello, and he said hello, and he told me that he thought we had a good conversation, and I told him that all of my listeners hated it. That's not true. I didn't tell him that because you didn't. But I did get a chance to see him. I saw your buddy Glenn Jacobs. He told me to tell you hello. My buddy too.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
He does not know me.
Yes, he does.
I actually want to meet him.
Well, he's a big man, and he said hello. What he said was tell everybody over there hello.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he knows me.
I think that includes you. Anyway, Mayor Glenn Jacobs was...
At some point, we got to get him in studio.
Sitting at... Well, I mean, if I'd have known about today, I could have done it today. So we talk a good game, and I believe it. I want to get away from politics for just a moment, and I want to talk to you about this. I believe that whatever your religious faith, whatever your belief structure is, even if you have no faith at all, that as men and women of free will, that we have the ability to chart our destiny far more so than we even give ourselves credit for. I believe that one of the easiest and hardest things to do is to look yourself in the mirror and recognize that where you are, 99% of where you are in your life is up to you. And 99% of where you're going is equally up to you. It's an incredibly empowering statement. But it also comes with a tremendous amount of responsibility. And I am reminded, as I listened to the testimony of some of the graduates from Men of Valor. Now, these are men who, as they tell their stories and offer their testimony, it's gut-wrenching to listen to what they went through. And they don't say it to create a sense of sorrow or certainly no level of excuse-making. It just is what it is. It is a reminder to me, and I was saying something about this after the program today. It's a reminder to me how blessed I was to have my grandfather in my life. Because I don't pretend that I was, close to jail. But my mother had a malignant brain tumor when I was 5 years old. My dad left my house. And he wasn't seen again until I was 12. But for my grandfather and my grandmother, I don't know where I would be. And in some of these scenarios, and we forget this, it is easy to blame the criminal, and blame should be laid at the feet of the criminal. There's no question. But as human beings, we ought to understand that we were blessed, most of us at least, were blessed with environments that not everybody had. We all have hills to climb. We all have hills to conquer. We all have ditches to dig ourselves out of. But some of us start in lower places than others. Some hills are greater to overcome than others. And sometimes, sadly, they are too great for these individuals that attempt it. Or they don't attempt it at all because it's too daunting of a task. Sometimes when we talk in theoreticals, sometimes when we talk clinically about your ability to do that in the United States of America, which I strongly believe in, I think every man deserves to go to heaven or hell in his own fashion. But some people have a more difficult road than others. And I think sometimes it's important to recognize that. That doesn't diminish their responsibility. But when you're hearing the testimony of a man that tells you that his family died when he was 5 and he was sent to live with other family members in Nashville, Tennessee, and at the age of 5, that is when the physical and sexual abuse began. And by the age of 12, he's on the streets selling drugs. Well, my God in heaven, that person never had a shot at it until he found redemptive power through Christ and through Men of Valor. And I'm specifically talking about some of the testimony that we heard today. It inspires me to relate this to you on the air. It inspires me because this isn't a government organization. Although they work with government intimately, they obviously have to. This is putting meat on the bone that we talk about all the time with regard to doing it the right way. If you want to stop a cycle of violence, if you want to stop a cycle, a recidivism within our penal system, you do so through faith and through love and through community support. Obviously, faith-based ways have been proven to work in a more concrete way than others, but I don't care what way you're doing it. I don't care what your focus is. If your focus is to help without the need for government intervention, then I think you're doing it the right way. All of this to say, Men of Valor is an amazing organization. I hope you're aware of them. And if you're not aware of them, I hope you become aware of them because they do really, really great work ministering to those who are in most need in our prison system here in the state of Tennessee. And I was proud to be in attendance. And thank you to Pamela Furr for inviting me to sit at her table, which was very, very close to the stage, which means the Redheaded Stranger is getting more and more important as the days go by.